No growls, no bloodshed, just a step forward, and the world trembles. In a place colder than frozen steel, where death has no voice and life exists only by killing before being killed, a ghost white creature walks without asking permission. It does not hide, it does not wait. It is the danger. The polar bear does not come to claim a throne. It was born with one, and every ice sheet beneath its feet knows the truth. Welcome to Mysteries Everywhere, where the ordinary ends and the unexplained begins. From forgotten ancient civilizations and unsolved scientific mysteries, to secret military experiments, paranormal tales, and the strangest natural phenomena on Earth, this is the realm of what we were never meant to see. Not the lion, not the shark. The polar bear is the only creature that rules without a roar. In a land where footprints are wiped clean by blizzards, it walks without urgency. Not because it is lazy, but because it knows no one dares challenge the crown. Winds howl through frozen sheets, but they cannot pierce the thick coat lined with fat more resilient than armor. The dim northern light only sharpens its chilling presence, a white-cloaked warrior in a frozen desert. Each step it takes is more than pressure on snow. It is the weight of authority. Here it does not need to sneak, does not need to stalk. Its presence alone is enough. When its shadow stretches across the tundra, every living thing in sight understands. This silence is not peace, it is a declaration. You see a white figure moving across the snow. It might look slow, heavy, but that is the first mistake, and the last any prey ever makes. The polar bear is the perfect symbol of adaptation. No steel weapons, no tech-made armor, just flesh, bone, and one thing no other predator possesses, a body forged in ice. An adult male can weigh up to 700 kilograms, close to a small car, but don't assume that makes it sluggish. When it needs to, it can charge faster than a marathon runner and drag a carcass for miles without stopping. Its fat layer, up to 10 centimeters thick, means it never shivers, even when winds cut like blades. Its white fur is not just camouflage. It's a perfect insulator, keeping its core temperature stable in weather as cold as -40 degrees. Its paws are wider than dinner plates, covered in fur, allowing it to glide across ice without sinking and swim across frigid seas like a tireless machine. But inside that massive frame beats the heart of something unforgiving. Each heartbeat is a reminder. In this land, one small mistake means becoming dinner. Yet what truly sets the polar bear apart is not brute strength, it is calculation. It does not kill for fun, it does not hunt for sport. Every strike is precise, intentional, as if rehearsed 100 times in its mind. You may see it lying still in the snow, motionless, but remember, it is not asleep. It is watching, it is waiting, and when you finally notice, it is already too late. Not the claws, not the leap. The deadliest weapon of the polar bear is time. In this frozen world where movement slows, it waits, longer than anything else alive, and that makes it lethal. A single breathing hole, no sound, no motion, only cold and silence. The bear lies still, for hours, for days, in minus 30 degrees. No blinking, no shivering, just waiting. Waiting for a seal, rich with over 100,000 calories, to rise for air. Then, without warning, a strike cracks the ice like thunder. No chase, no second chance, only white, and it's over. The polar bear doesn't hunt with speed, it hunts with precision. Every ambush is a silent war, planned, calculated, executed. It can smell prey a mile away, read the wind, judge the ice, map the currents, track routines. No machines, just memory, just blood. This is not instinct, it's legacy, passed down from mother to cub. Every scar, every failure, burned into survival. That's what makes it a nightmare. It doesn't roar, it doesn't rush, it simply shows up at the perfect moment and never misses. This is no seal, no silent target. This one stands its ground. On the icy shores of Alaska and Canada, the walrus waits, massive, armored in blubber, and armed with tusks built to kill. They don't run, they don't back down. They form a wall, the strong shielding the weak. Those tusks aren't tools, they're warnings. The polar bear knows it doesn't rush. It watches, it waits. It looks for the outlier, the slow, the small, the exposed. But one misstep, one wrong angle, and the hunter bleeds. Only 1 in 10 attacks succeed. The bear knows. Still it lunges, because failure means hunger, and hunger too long means death. If it fails, it turns to the dead, bloated flesh, sour and rotting, but packed with fat. That's not desperation, that's survival, cold, efficient, precise. Here, strength alone means nothing. Only the one who feeds, feeds again. The polar bear doesn't always chase. Sometimes it waits on frozen shores where cold weakens and tides turn giants into prisoners. At summer's end, beluga whales drift into shallow bays, shining white like scattered clouds. They sing, ghostly songs rising from below. But beauty here is a trap. When the tide retreats, some are stranded, circling, gasping with nowhere to run. The bear waits, still, hidden in icy mist. It knows the truth. No depth, no current, no escape. And when the moment comes, it strikes. A beluga may weigh 3,000 pounds, but stranded, size means nothing. Panic loses, patience wins. Each carcass is rich, fat, protein, life. Enough to feed a bear for weeks in a land without trees, without scent, without mercy. The polar bear doesn't win by force, it wins by knowing when to act and when to do nothing. In this world, even whales can drown in air, and the one who eats last is the one who lives longest. Not every target hides beneath ice. Some run, fast, alert, relentless, but not fast enough. Caribou, crowned in antlers, charge across endless white, powerful, tireless, But when one strays or slows, the hunt begins. No growl, no thunder, just a white shadow sliding between snowbanks, silent as wind. The bear doesn't rush, it calculates. Every move deliberate, every breath measured. When the gap narrows, the chase ignites. Snow erupts under hooves, muscle clashes with ice. The bear follows, quiet, focus, slicing forward like a blade. This is not a sprint, it's a war of endurance. One stumbles, one survives. If the caribou dives into water, it signs its end, because the cold is the bear's domain. As weight and fatigue drag it down, the predator closes in. No sound, no mercy. One bite, and it's over. The bear doesn't feast in frenzy. It skins, carves, chews slowly, each bite a message. You ran, but not far enough. This isn't just survival, it's a final exam. In strength, in patience, in iceborne mastery. When the ice melts too soon, when seals vanish, when no carcass drifts ashore, the polar bear obeys its oldest law: eat whoever it must. Sometimes who means one of its own. In this frozen world, there is no morality, only hunger and survival. In the worst seasons, adult males turn on cubs. A silent step past the den, a stare like steel. A mother lunges, but the cub is too small, and the strike comes too fast. To us, it's cruel. To the bear, it's the line between extinction and existence. Sometimes it's not even hunger, just the urge to eliminate competition. Only half of all cubs survive their first year, not from lack of love, but from a world where even family offers no mercy. The line between protector and predator, between kin and prey, is thin like first ice. The polar bear is not evil. It is the apex of a cold, calculated system. Here, only one law remains: never starve. Not every hunt ends in a kill. Some bears, strong, seasoned, fall where the snow never melts, not from weakness, but from emptiness. Eyes dim, ribs sharp, silence absolute. Beneath the northern lights, they leave behind one truth: nature doesn't favor the strong, it favors the ones who endure. Each step, each scar, marks a journey carved through ice and solitude. Some end with no prey, no sunrise, only a quiet surrender. But the polar bear is great, not because it always wins, but because it dares to live when everything else is dying. No trees, no warmth, just snow, wind, and will. And still, it moves forward, not immortal, but unbroken. Each step whispers, "I choose to live," and in that choice, it becomes a symbol. When the blizzards settle, when the ice hardens into towering white walls, when the ocean falls silent and the whales no longer sing, the polar bear emerges once again from the silence, not to make a statement, not to prove a title, but simply to survive, as it has done for thousands of years. In a world growing warmer, where every melting ice sheet cuts deep into the planet's core, the polar bear no longer hunts the same, no longer walks the same paths. Yet it still moves, still hunts, still lives. As if to tell the universe, I'm not finished. It does not scream for help. It does not beg for mercy. It simply continues. Its white fur no longer enough to blend into a fading world. The polar bear doesn't need our praise. It doesn't need its name carved into gold medals of life. Because every time it steps onto ice, that's a victory. Every successful hunt, a silent coronation. And every time it stares into a human lens, that is not the gaze of a desperate species, that is the gaze of a king. A king reminding us all, in the game of survival, titles are not given. They are held with teeth, with claws, and an unbreakable will. So the next time you see it, don't just see a bear, see a symbol of resilience, of necessary ruthlessness, of the cold beauty only nature can create. If you felt the power and raw truth of nature through this journey, leave a like for survival. Share this video with those who need to see the beauty of pure instinct. And don't forget to subscribe to Mysteries Everywhere, where the ordinary ends and the unexplained begins. We'll see you on the next wild journey, where every frame holds a mystery, every creature tells a legend, and every video is a declaration of survival.